Welcome everyone to another Aussie Comic Book Day event with ComX all-day stream. This one we've got Lauren Marshall's going to teach us how to draw Rufus, or Killeroo as he's more commonly known. And yeah, so Lauren.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I've been watching along all morning. You guys have been smashing it. It's been really informative and actually really cool. It feels like we're sort of hanging out a little bit. It's quite refreshing. So well done. It's been awesome.
Nice, isn't it?
For sure. Okay, so drawing. I'm going to start off with young Rufus, I think.
Okay.
Obviously, because he's a little bit younger, and then we'll go into the nitty-gritty stuff and sort of talk about the Old Man Rufus that's coming out on Kickstarter, which is on Kickstarter, and you can back it at the moment. I'm sure Daz will tell you all about that. But I thought young Rufus was the first. No, actually, we did a cross print for did a cross print for the Lana and Killeroo crossover when we both had campaigns going. So that was the first sort of interaction. I miss you too. Interaction that we had. Get out. That I kind of had. So I was able to play around with actually drawing Rufus for the first time with Lana in the same print. But in terms of the actual first project that I did was young Rufus. So more anamorphic sort of drawing, which I actually particularly don't mind because I don't have to worry about noses and lips as much as I normally have to. So, which I kind of struggle with. So anyway, I'm just going to jump in and start drawing. Oh, actually, before I do that, I thought I'd just quickly drag over a couple of the pages that I did for young Rufus. Big opening scene that you've got there. First page of the, what was it, 5 or 6 pages that I did. So it's sort of like setting the scene for the story. And then you've got, oh my God, I got the double screen going. What's happening? And then this one was sort of like advertised quite a lot. Just it's probably one of the stronger pages that I did do. Kind of shows Rufus jumping out of his shell a little bit and asserting his dominance as the pack, part of his pack. So that was a good scene that I was able to draw. So anyway, I'm going to jump in and start drawing. No noses for Spider-Man, 100%. I'm going to start jumping in and drawing. Daz, do you want to maybe give a little rundown about young Rufus first before we go into Old Man?
So, yeah, the idea of young Rufus came about probably about 5 or 6 years ago when I did the Scars book, which shows his origin. And we get a little bit of it's probably a very broad overview of his younger years. And we established that he escapes the military laboratory that he was created in, and then he spends some time with an Aboriginal family that kind of take him in. And then I was like, okay, 8 years later. So there was a big gap, big area of the character's life that just got glossed over in between pages. And the idea really became, because I've done a lot of conventions and selling Killeroo, and one of the questions that I would get quite often was parents that would go, "Oh, this looks great. Is this suitable for the kids?" And I'd always have to go, no. And it's kind of painful to turn customers away. So I always had the idea of I should really do a kids book version, and just show the younger version of the character before he starts killing everyone. And I had a few short stories done probably about 5 years ago. So there's some quite old stuff in that young Rufus book.
Oh, okay.
But there wasn't really enough to publish an entire comic books about him. So I needed to fill in the gaps and create a few more stories, and that's where Lauren came in.
Darren, do you find so Killeroo would have to be one of the most drawn characters, yet I hear from a lot of people that they say they also can't draw Killeroo. Like, he gets drawn a lot, but I hear from a lot of people that he's just, and I myself struggle to draw Killeroo. Do you find him to be like a, what would you, not divisive, but like you either get him or you don't, drawing him wise?
He's not easy. I did get a model sheet created by Daniel Gibbs probably about a decade ago that I try to circulate around. But it doesn't make him any easier to draw, really, because there's just so many distinctive features. I think, for example, if you get the ears wrong, he immediately doesn't look like a kangaroo. He starts to look like a dog or a mouse or a rat.
Also the nose as well. If you get the nose wrong, it starts looking like a dog.
And because he's not really a kangaroo and he's not really human insofar as the look of the face, he's somewhere in between, and that's not really easy to capture.
Man, this is...
I can just imagine.
I mean, myself, when I draw him, I still look at photos of kangaroos. Because they're just so bloody hard to draw, especially the ears. If the ears connect to the head in quite an interesting way on kangaroos, where they basically have almost knuckles on top of the head, which allows them to swivel around as much as they do.
Wow.
So,
Lauren, can you tell us? Sorry, Daz.
No, you go.
No. I'm trying to kind of learn / keep up. The way you build, Lauren, is crazy. How you start from shapes and then you're also so fast.
I teach. Oh, I used to teach. I had to give up the job for my current job, but I used to teach kids at a art school, and it was a manga / comic specific course. And I used to use like terminology that would like really make sense to them. And like if you use something that's relatable to kids, then they understand it a lot more. And same goes for adults. Like if you just make it easier. I used to say sausages and meatballs was my biggest thing that I used to say. Like, is it a sausage or is it a meatball? Like if you think about an arm, you've got your forearm, that's a sausage. You've got your wrist, that's a meatball. You've got your fingers, they're sausages, along with meatballs on the inside, and it just clicked a little bit. And if you simplify when it comes to drawing and building structure, if you look at a shape, especially particularly with a hand, and you look at the palm, you've got like one little shape that's here for where your thumb goes, and then you've got like this square. And then as soon as you start building up those very simple shapes, and you can construct from that I think finds it a lot more easier to just build up and get those bigger shapes a little bit more accurate.
What's it like, Daz, seeing your character in so many different styles and epic takes and cartoony takes? And
I'd be lying if I didn't say gratifying. It's always cool to see so many different interpretations of your character, and I'm always open to different ideas. I remember when John Somariva did a story in the very first Killeroo comic that I made, is he really brought his graffiti kind of style to it, and he basically drew him as like a skater punk kind of character. And while I haven't really used too much of that in the sort of the more modern iterations of Killeroo, there were certain elements to it, particularly the young Rufus aspect of it, that were really quite cool. And generally, if someone brings something to the table that wasn't there before and looks great, then I'll just adopt it and just make it part of the new normal, if you like. And Lauren's getting to the legs there, which is another tricky aspect of this character.
Yeah.
You got to
And also the tail.
Yeah, the tail. Like that's why I just erased it because it was too far up. Like their tails are heavy. They're like big lumps. They're just heavy weight, and you got to almost just like drags on the ground almost.
Yeah, and I mean that I'm kind of lucky that I grew up around kangaroos. My mother used to look after orphan wildlife, so there was always little joeys bouncing around, and you know, so I was looking at kangaroo tails and how they moved, you know, subconsciously before I'd even created Killeroo. So because kangaroos just it's almost dead weight, the tail, like it's a very tempting to use it as you know, something dynamic in a picture of Killeroo. Just to have the tail coiling around or sort of floating in the air to create more visual style. But kangaroos' tails can't do that. They're an extension of the spine, and they pretty much fall straight to the ground and in one direction. So, you know, just directly out the back. They can use them to, you know, almost stand up on when they're fighting and so forth.
It's basically another leg, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Lauren, there's a question for you here from Mark. Can you see it at all? I don't know if your screen allows you.
Let me bring it up.
Is there a reason why you jump back and forth?
No, there's no reason. just the way my brain works. I'm just trying to. If I see something like I'll look at something and be like, "Oh, quick, got to fix that." Then I'll just jump and change back to whatever I need to fix. So.
And you've just been asked what graphic tablet you're using.
This is a Cintiq 22 HD, big boy.
Oh, nice.
I don't go half-assed when it comes to upgrading stuff, so I'm actually going to start that again.
Oh. I am not sure. I'm just pretending that you're the teacher up the front of the class and I'm trying to copy your work. I'm not sharing my screen again at all.
Is this meant to be a draw along? Okay, cool.
No.
I will actually talk about like structure wise in terms of, because obviously I'm drawing old man Rufus at the moment compared to young Rufus. Like there's a big thing like in terms of drawing different youth and stuff like that. Faces are always really short, so the same sort of structure for his face goes the same for old man Rufus. Is just a lot more elongated because when you grow older, your face sort of like elongates a little bit opposed to a baby. So when a baby's born, in terms of anatomy, the eyeballs are the same size as when they're older. So that's why eyes on kids look so large, is because when they're born, it's like the same size their whole life.
Yeah, they're not going to grow any bigger.
No. Yeah. So when you're drawing like young Rufus, he's got like this same structure. He's got his like eyebrows, his cheek fluff, and then you build up his nose. But with like old man Rufus, you still got that same structure. You're just pulling it down a little bit, and then you've got like this longer like face, like more gritty eyes like down here, and his nose is down the bottom. So it's just aging by changing that shape just ever so slightly. There's a really good tutorial from the Etherington brothers about it, which I really learned a lot from, just about the aging process. And I think Aaron Blaze did a really good one as well.
Cool. So, hang on. No, I brought them all up. Well, this is just cool to watch, I must admit. Watching you draw is, what's the word? Very satisfying. It's just cool to watch.
I think I'm making a more teenagery at the moment, but hey, it's getting there.
And then you got this thing.
That's looking awesome.
No, shut up.
You don't want to put mine up on the screen.
The smirk is great.
Murky
It
boy.
is, isn't it?
You also got to think of like with adolescence as well, especially for young old man Rufus. He's got like a lot of thickness to him because he's just like really staunchy, like really buff, and you got to like make sure that when he's younger, he's a lot more lean. Kids' metabolism through the roof, and I get a little bit jealous of that sometimes because the amount I have to work out to stay small. So, yeah, when it comes to like their bodies, their waist is a lot more thinner. His arms are a lot more thinner, and just like his neck's a lot more thinner. Like you'll see when I do old man, his like neck is thick as like thick boy. So
Nice and chunky.
I always like look at when I think of like aging, and this is a good thing for me. Like I really find a lot of like comfort in it. Like especially with like my old pop and stuff like that. Like you look at his hands, and he's got like these big pillow hands. They're just like thick. They're just like they've seen some days, and just like I like when I think of that, like aging, like I think of it as a comfort thing for me.
I agree, Dan. I agree. This is incredible.
It's like speed drawing.
I love that you figured out how to do this thing with the screen.
Oh, it's great. I mean, I feel sorry that people have to look at my mug, but hey, I'd rather not be just like showing a screen.
That's a good thing. It's this one in the middle that you got to watch out for. That mug in the orange shirt. That's the one. We can make that just slightly smaller. Come on, stream, do it. No.
Oh. That's pretty much it for a little Rufus boy. He's got attitude. He's a little bit rough around the edges. Oh, I forgot his pockets.
Who wrote your story, Lauren, in Young Rufus?
I think it's all Daz.
Was it
Yeah,
Daz?
that was me.
Nice.
Was you? Cool.
Yeah, it's actually like I've seen the final product. It's actually really, really nice and like super humbling, and I think it's good for kids to like see that kind of stuff, and especially in a relatable scenery and stuff like that. I think it's going to be a hit.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm expecting it to arrive from the printers next week. So
yeah,
exciting.
Exciting.
Oh, awesome. Oh, we're getting questions for you now, Daz.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if it's already been asked, but what gave you the idea to create Killeroo?
I always have a shit answer for this. Essentially, I grew up, reading Marvel and DC, and I'd seen quite a few. And the comics were always set in New York, or they would be in the US somewhere. And very rarely did you see a story that would go out of their way to make it look like Australia or Melbourne or Sydney. And if they did, it always looked kind of cliche. So I always I loved superheroes and always wanted to make a superhero kind of character for it, but set it in Australia. And I think I was just at university, and there was a magazine for the university called The Third Degree, and they had a cartoon. There was a student studying there that did a cartoon called Rat Race or something like that. And I didn't really like it. Like it was, I don't want to say the word amateurish, I guess. And I mean, I wasn't that much better either, but I was a little bit cocky and thought, I reckon I could probably do something a little bit better than this. And just because I grew up around wildlife and wanted to do something Australian, I just thought, well, what about some kind of, the Ninja Turtles are really popular. What about a mutant kangaroo? So I put together, it was like a little one-page strip, and it got published on the back cover of the magazine. And I thought, this is awesome. And then I never did another one again, and Rat Race must have ran for another 7 or 8 stories. There was only ever one of the Killeroo one. And then this was about 1995, and then fast forward to around 2000, and there was a whole bunch of people on the Oz Comics forums back then.
Yep.
And everyone
Heard
was
about them
making
today.
comics. And I just reached out to a few artists, including John Someriva, about dusting off this character and making a comic out of him. And that's kind of how it happened.
Cool. That's not a bad story at all.
No, that was good.
That was really good. I was expecting a bad story. You disappointed me, Daz. You disappointed me. No, that was a really good story. I like that. We've got a comment here about this morning's drawings of Killeroo.
Oh, yes.
Oh no. Please no, don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't worry, we're not taking requests on this particular.
Him taking a dump.
Yeah, we're not taking requests on this particular session, so it's all good.
Hey, I'll do it. If there's enough likes and comments, I will do whatever the hell you want.
Easy.
I love those big round ovoid eyes.
I think that was one of the other artists that I saw, because I didn't want to completely move away from what the other artists had done. I can't remember his name, but his stuff was like so cute. And there's the one where they went in the cave, I think it was.
Oh, yes, that was Andy Isaac.
Yeah. And I saw his stuff and I was like, I've just fell in love with it straight away. So I just like took a little bit of stuff from him. And it was good because it kind of like taught me a little bit on how to create expressions without having to draw the full face, I guess. But yeah, it just conveys across the message. Okay. All right. Let's move on to old man, because he's getting a little bit of attention at the moment, isn't he?
Oh, looking good, Svedsy.
Not bad.
Let's have a look. I've got another screen up. Yes.
Yeah.
You got his face right.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, I shouldn't have agreed to. Yeah, but it's something. It's the best killer I've drawn. I've tried a handful of times and.
Well, he doesn't look like a toilet, so that's good.
Yeah, that's the first. Me not
First
drawing a
step.
square is the first. It's tricky.
So, obviously, you've got your Old Man Rufus Kickstarter going at the moment. If nobody has heard of it at all over the past couple of days, it's definitely going on Kickstarter. But it's obviously something that nobody needs to miss out on, which I'm looking forward to.
That one's at oldmanrufus.killeroo.com. That'll take you to the Kickstarter. And Lauren's cover just recently unlocked. So
Nice.
buy the book and you can pick Lauren's cover.
Speaking of, I've just recently been doing the ink. Still got to tweak it a little bit, so I thought I would still show it. So people can see.
Nice.
Let me see if I can change my screen because it's actually quite low res on this one. Let me just see.
Oh, am I going
No
to
expense spared on the background too.
Oh, okay. No, it's not. It's not going to work. Anyway, I can flick it over to you. Shame, because this screen's not doing the greatest high res. Anyway, so this one's been quite fun. I've recently been learning a lot about doing buildings and concepts and stuff like that. So it's been really fun learning how to do that. And then obviously we're going to color this and tweak it a little bit, but looking forward to seeing how that one comes out for sure.
You enjoy drawing a possum?
Possums are hard because they're just notoriously known for being cute, right?
Yeah.
And I've struggled a little bit to make them look a little bit mean, but I'm not quite finished yet. So we'll see how that one turns out. But I'll definitely. Well, let me
Just so I know, Lauren, where are you flicking it through to?
The book face. I am flicking it through the book
Okay,
face.
cool. I will look there then.
Okay, so I'll go back and continue drawing. Okay. If Daz, you want to talk about Old Man Rufus a little bit?
Yeah, I can do that. So, as mentioned, I think I was on one of the other videos today. The artist who drew Scars, Ryan Wilton, also did a couple of sketches of what he would look like as an older character, because he had a cover that was just Killeroo's face, and then he did sort of like a variant that was an older version, which was much more graying, wrinkles, and he even had like an eye patch. And yeah, he came up with, he was the first to visualize an older version of the character, and I always liked that particular image. And yeah, when basically took the concept of an older Rufus and set him in the future, and spoke to Ryan Vella about putting together a story, and that's kind of where it came from. Cool. Just a very grumpy, old, curmudgeonly, kind of Clint Eastwoody Rufus. And all of the things that a lot of people have always said they wanted was, I wish it was more like Mad Max, or I wish it was a bit more like Tank Girl, and, you know, post-apocalyptic and that sort of thing. And by setting it in the year 2050, it really unlocks all of that stuff, because if the modern Killeroo stuff is meant to be, you know, quite similar to our reality, then in a future story I can come up with all kinds of things. I'm not constrained by what Australia looks like right now. So
nice.
Yeah, I think it was Alistair Lockhart who first came up with that fantastic yellow wraparound cover with sort of like the remains of the Sydney Harbour Bridge and so forth.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it just kind of snowballed from there.
I love how these ideas develop like that. It's just, you get in your head that it's all planned out and it's all happened, but it's like this little thing happened and this other little thing happened, and that combined with this other little thing, and it's really cool. Well, here's your picture, Lauren. I can whack it up on the full screen.
Go. Yeah. Eagles, still got to tweak the hawk a little bit, because he's still not quite
the
there.
wedge-tailed eagle.
Oh, eagle. Sorry, eagle. I keep getting mixed up between the two, but eagle, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be tricky to get really in there, because he's probably going to eat those rats you've got down the bottom there.
No, don't eat rats.
And I also kind of like the goggles that he has on his forehead, because I was always a fan of Hellboy. So this is kind of like a way of making Rufus look a little bit like Hellboy. Instead of horns, it's just goggles. But he uses the goggles in conjunction with the eagle. Basically, when he puts the goggles on, he can access a camera that's mounted on the eagle's head. So if the eagle's way up in the air doing surveillance for him, then he can actually see in real time what the eagle sees.
That's really cool.
Particularly hard to sneak up on this Rufus.
And do we find out what happened to the rest of the world?
We will. We're just sort of hitting the ground running in the main story, but I'm working on a backup story that I'm going to draw, which will basically tell what happens between now and 2050.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I like the big trench coat. I guess that might be almost another Hellboy aspect to the character.
Trying it so much.
But if you're going to take from other creators, take from the greats.
Oh yeah,
this is true.
Yeah, I actually think it's harder to draw young Rufus than it is to draw old man Rufus, because
I think it might be not that I'm
every line that you put on old man Rufus's face adds age, and that's the whole idea. Whereas the more lines you add on a young face, it does the same. It adds years, and then he's no longer young, is he?
So I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm finding him hard to draw. Because maybe I don't draw enough old people. Maybe I should. It was interesting trying to draw like beard and moustache and stuff on a kangaroo.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was one of the artists went nuts with the mustache, and a few have copied him since, but it was never meant to be a mustache. It was just meant to be a much more grizzled and
yeah.
I think Jason for his kind of nailed it, and because it's kangaroos, they're not all the same color, particularly in the face. They have facial markings, and the front of the face above the mouth tends to be more white, and I think people then look at that as being, oh, that's the shape of the mustache, but it's not a mustache. It's just the markings on that particular part of his face.
Yep. Well, we got you a backer.
Thank you, non-inspirational gaming. Much obliged.
Yep, that's Mark. He's a super supporter. He's amazing, Mark. He supports everything we show. It's just madness. He's an absolute legend. And we've got someone who wants to hear you talk more.
Yes, that's Lee. We had some fun on that one with Dean, didn't we?
This is great. As the admin, I get to watch Lauren draw, and I'm getting to watch Spedsy draw it at the same time.
No one. No.
Oh, he's putting things up so I can't see it. Oh, no.
No. No, it's just like you're watching me just like, yeah, trying, kind of like copying. And
that was really good, man.
Yeah.
Well, let me see.
No, nair.
Yes. Give him his eye bags. He needs full-on eye bags.
Yeah.
I'll give you an eye bag.
Wrinkle him up.
I don't know what that means. It actually sounds wrong.
Give you an eye bag.
I subtract my statement.
He needs his
That's quite a collection of stuff you got behind you there, Spedsy.
Yeah, I have accumulated over time.
I guess working in a comic shop kind of helps with that.
Yeah, or hinders, whatever. Yeah. Went from a small pull list to a ridiculous one.
Yeah, Mark, I agree. She does make it look easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrifying.
Well,
meanwhile,
Mark likes yours, Rob.
Thanks, Mark. But Mark's super kind. Yeah.
Oh.
Was it Lee you said is whack?
Yeah.
Lee. And Lee can relate to old Rufus because of the eye bags. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Give you an eye bag.
Right, come on, calm down.
I got a looking great Lauren.
Thank you.
Are you drinking and drawing with us tonight, Lauren?
Yeah, I've got that picked. I've got a little Lana ready to go.
Nice.
It's going to be a ridiculous one.
It is. It's going to be a mess.
How are you guys going to even control that chaos?
Well, I'm going to do it really tired, so then it's even more chaos.
You get to that point where you're overtired and you just start freaking out and seeing things. You're like, is that a drawing? No, it's just my tiredness.
I made the mistake of getting up at 4. That was probably a bad mistake.
Yeah, probably.
I was up at 5. All good.
Considering this is going till 10, so yeah.
Whew.
Nice long day.
Get
But
that
I was
D-ball.
lying in bed for an hour and just thinking, there's no point lying here. I'm not going back to sleep. I'm excited about this day. I might as well just get up.
Yeah, definitely schedule a few more breaks in between for yourself.
Oh yeah, I've learnt myself.
Before you do next year.
Next year will be very different.
Speaking of
Yeah.
breaks,
very different.
my sister just dropped off my dinner, so I might.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I might disappear for a bit. Get
Cool.
my energy back for drink and draw. But Lauren, you're freaking amazing. Darren,
Oh, thank
amazing
you.
character. I'll
Cheers.
catch you
It's
guys
all
in a
Lauren today.
bit. Yeah.
See you, Swazzy.
Champ. All right. So what do we got? We got 20 minutes. If anybody wants a particular pose or style or whatever, let me know and I'll smash it out the best I can. It's putting myself on the spot, which I don't know if it's a good thing.
If no one else pipes in, maybe just a close up on the eyes and the forehead. You don't have to draw the whole head. Just
As in for old man?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Give us some really detailed eye bags.
And of course, I knew Lee was going to go there. I knew it. He's gone straight for the poo. Straight for the poo.
Oi, I will smash that out first. Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna do a young Rufus. All right. I'm gonna this is just gonna be like a quick quick scribble. Let me just quickly change this.
Lee is unstoppable.
Lee, you've got your. Oh wow.
Go.
And apparently
I'm
that's
gonna
a tradition with KFC. That's interesting. Dan
And
just
he's the
commented
same
that he's
pose.
doing it again every Saturday.
Saturday KFC.
Saturday KFC. Must be like his morning pie. Oh, I can't believe he does that. I've got a question for you here. Ever think a Killeroo movie in the future?
Well, I can't say too much, but I do have a Zoom meeting scheduled for Tuesday talking about something along those lines.
Oh, sweet.
Very,
Nice.
very, very early days at this point, but
Oh, well, fingers crossed for you either way.
we'll see what happens.
Has anyone else come up with something that's not about poo?
Hey, can't go wrong when it comes to poop.
You know,
Oh, they
Lee,
got another-
you know, if
Zach
you
just
print that
back.
out,
He wants Lauren's cover.
yeah, no, that's a good call. Lee will ask you to print that out, and he'll pay you for that.
He's already asked for all the ones from this morning too.
Yeah.
Now I've got his wait. His dacks are gonna be around his ankles. Because he wears his little jeans, right? Why is this being weird? Oh, because I've got that. Okay. Wrong thing.
Apparently, this is a Kickstarter idea.
Doing a poo needs to be the
You
next.
get the poop collection. It includes multiple poop pictures. Young Rufus and a lot.
He wants story credit. I love it.
I think that's a very different kind of book and a very different kind of audience that would.
Yes, I
back
think it
that
would
one.
be.
And it's probably not a crowd I want to cultivate.
And
Probably my
Spezzy
favourite
left at the
time.
wrong time. If
Yeah,
Killeroo
he would
ever
have been all over
needed
this.
a devil's toilet, this is the time.
Yeah.
The devil's toilet's gonna be in the back. He's just gonna be like, what's up?
He didn't quite make it there.
He's like, what's going on? You dumb. Okay. That's enough of poop, Rufus.
Yes, I think so. Are you happy, Lee?
Actually, really like that. I don't know why. Okay. Let's go for cool face, close face. All right, let's go. Oh, I've got to get poop out of my mind. Hard, but anyway. Sorry, we've got a puppy play date at our place today, so Lots of barking in the background. If you can
What kind
hear
of
it.
dog?
Oh, so we got two big dogs. I got a wolfhound, staghound, and a wolfhound ridgeback.
wow.
But the dog here is like a beagle bitzer. It's basically bitzer.
Okay.
It's smaller because when dogs are smaller, that threatens their masculinity.
Yeah, I always find the eyes a bit tricky, like the forehead and particularly the eyebrow is sort of like a big chunky
forehead.
shape, and then you've sort of got the eyeball and the eyelid underneath it.
Yeah. So if he's got like a hooded eyes, you lose that. You lose the eyelid pretty much. But
Yeah.
depends on what kind of like character you're going for, right? But he mad.
Looking
Got
wicked.
that.
I think we need to set up a new show just called Lauren Draws.
You'd probably get a few viewers.
I think we would.
His eyes are too close together.
And give him some crow's feet too.
Mm-hmm.
I sent our boy Rob a quick snap of the Killeroo pooping with the Devil's Toilet in the background. You might have to auction it, Lauren.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to outbid Lee, but
Not even a
it has
good
to be a
toilet.
high amount.
Without any reference, that's the best I got. Look, his hand, it's just like a little lump. Oh my god. Okay, anyway, back to the oh god, I'm losing focus now. And then he's got his scar on this eye.
Yep.
Furrow. I feel like he's not elongated enough. Okay. It's the beard and stuff that I'm missing. You just like get in there. So his lips come in like that. And then he's got his big beardy beard. Beard. Big neck. That's the neck. Every time I put the neck in, then I'm like, yes, that's what I was missing.
Yeah, it does sort of
like
complete the package.
Okay. Got that droopy mouth. Beard. And then his ears coming up. Bit of scruff. There. Then go on to this layer.
Right, that just getting some technical stuff there sorted for the next one. That's the other thing I didn't allow for, the fact that I need to talk to people coming into the next one while I'm in the middle of one. I only realized when I was setting up for who was before you, Darren? It was when I realized I needed to set something up so I was actually ready for everyone.
Okay.
With you and Sean. I can't remember who was before that. Hang on, I got the schedule just here.
I think that was
Yeah,
your
when I was on with
ComX
Spedsy.
one.
Yeah, when I was on with Spedsy and Hayden is where I realized I needed to change my system because I'm like, oh crap, I've got to talk to the next lot of people, and the next lot of people, and the next lot of people.
You've done well, Shane. It's been an awesome day.
Yes, for what I thought was organized, but it's turned out to be chaos. I thought only tonight was going to be chaos, but
I think tonight's probably going to be easy for you because you've done it so many times. It's just obviously just people, right?
yeah, deciding who to take off the screen, who to leave on the screen.
I think part of the trick must be, so that people aren't all talking over the top of each other. You kind of need to almost mute everyone who's not, like if people are taking turns, it's sort of like mute most of the other people so that people aren't speaking over one another.
Yeah, that's true. There is a bit of that. It gets a bit chaotic once there's 10 of us, that's for sure.
Hmm.
And tonight's going to be about 15 of us, so that's going to be crazy. Lee's a
What?
classic. Oh, just Lee getting on about the poo still.
Still want to poo. Poo-roo.
He's trying to get a hashtag trending.
Poo-roo. Hashtag poo-roo. Sorry, it's begun.
Yes, it's afternoon here, yeah. Almost evening, yep.
And then we got that coming in. His mouth's not big enough.
We've got a question. Do you think doing this close-up is harder than when you drew them a bit further out? Doing the close-up of the face, doing more detail, I should say.
Yeah, I would imagine so, because you have to kind of get like every feature right because it's the main focus. So yeah, 100%. But like I said, I struggle with doing aging. So doing my best.
And it's just been asked, are you using a G pen in Clip Studio?
Yep, just the OG G pen.
Well, there you go.
I ain't got no fancy
Well spotted,
stuff.
subtle.
I don't. I have tried like other brushes and stuff, but I don't know. I just like the fact that this does like really smooth, and the stabilization feature in this just makes my life way easier. But in saying that, I'm a traditional girl through and through, so traditional stuff. I think my traditional stuff and my digital stuff look completely different.
He's still trying to get that hashtag going.
Yeah.
Go, Lee. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah. You try, mate.
I'll tell you what, Lee, I'll run a Kickstarter for it if you fund the entire thing.
Nice.
It'll be like one of those NFTs where it's just for you, one book. But start saving.
Okay.
Congratulations on the 100%, by the way.
Cheers,
Thanks,
Damien. Shanimation is Damien Shanahan, who created Pizza Man, an anthology, and I went to high school with and really got me into making comics.
Wow, cool.
So kind of a legend in Australian comics, or at least in my mind.
I'm still learning. I'll get there.
Do a quick another young Rufus one, just because he's my fave. So what's been your favorite part about today, Shane?
Not eating or drinking.
Oi! Love it.
No, that's not my favorite part. Sorry, that's my least favorite part.
Yeah.
Time
flies when you have fun.
Just the chaos of it all. Just
yeah.
Needing to jump from one to one to one to one, and then just not getting a chance to sit back and enjoy what just happened.
All right. There's a lot of
doesn't
people
sound like it's a good part, but it's been kind of keeping me going. I'm looking forward to tomorrow where I get to absorb everything that happened today.
Yeah.
Well, do you get a break between Jay's talk and the drink and draw?
Yeah, an hour to have dinner.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so I have a break before I do the craziness.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what Jay has to say, actually.
Yeah, so am I, actually.
Because it's never easy to get stores to stock local books.
That's the consensus I've had as well.
And particularly now, I mean, I've got new books coming out, and I'm hesitant to approach stores because I know how tough they've done it in the last, 2 years. And it's sort of like, well, if they're struggling with Marvel and DC stuff, are they really going to want to take on more local stuff? Like, it's not exactly the right time.
No pressure. No pressure at all, Jay.
I'm waiting for it to be a very short talk, and he's like, "Yeah, stuff Australian comics. I don't stock them." And then it's just static for the next half hour.
Oh, God.
No, he's stocked quite a lot of Australian comics there. I think he even had
Yeah.
Tim in today.
Yeah, Tim in today. Yeah, Tim Stiles.
He's a good guy.
That's the only bit I caught. I think he did more than that, but yeah.
I'd love to get up to Wollongong, but it's not easy to get to from Melbourne without a car.
We got these comics in Canberra. Had amazing collection of Aussie comics.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool.
These are amazing. I didn't want to say that while Jay's on the line.
But you did
no,
anyway. I like it.
These have been fantastic to most Australian comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot has changed, Damo. But at least you had newsagents back then.
Yeah, of course. That's a good point.
Well,
Newsagents isn't a
newsagents
thing
aren't like
anymore.
a huge thing anymore for comics and stuff. Hey,
No.
like it's all just
Very few stores even stock the Phantom now. It's
Yeah, I've
just
noticed
like
that.
newsagents are like where you can get the newspaper and get your Tats Lotto ticket, and that's about it these days.
Yes, Brendan is a good egg.
Definitely.
Oh, we've got a lot of D's comments coming in.
Yeah, everyone loves these.
yeah, cool. Any last minute requests before we wrap up?
It is the last minute, actually.
That went quick.
It went very quick, and that is an awesome collection of drawings.
Sure is.
Yeah.
That is just wow.
And now my hand hurts.
Give that a rest before the drink and draw.
Yeah. Luckily, I had to I knew that I would need to do like a pre-sketch for tonight. So luckily I've done that. So I can just chill out for a little bit.
Too easy.
Chill out for a bit.
If I have to think of something again, then yeah, no.
No. Well, thank you very much, Lauren. That was absolutely awesome to watch. I was a little bit, I think, absorbed in it. I couldn't think of anything to say. Thank
Don't
you,
zoom
Darren,
in
for
on
helping
that.
me. And I left it all to Darren, so it was good. Thanks for that.
No, thanks, Sizzle, and thanks again, Lauren. This is fantastic.
No problem. Thank you guys for having
Just,
me.
can you just erase that bottom bit? Just destroy it.
Hey, you got to give what the people want.
Not always.
Thanks, everybody.
All
Thanks,
right,
everyone.
Take care. I'll see you guys for the drink and draw.
Yep, see you then, Darren.
See you then.
Thanks, Lauren. See ya.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed the show. If you're after some more Aussie Comic Book Day goodness, just go to the link comx.cx and check out the schedule. Thank you very much.